Hi guys, this is my little ZV-E10, my little Dougie with his trusty Sigma 16mm f1.4. That's about $1,100 USD, and this is Harvey. Yes, I name all of my cameras, and this is an A7IV with a 24mm 1.4 G Master, and this setup is about $3,900 USD. Now I'm going to show you a clip from each of the cameras. Take a look. Could you tell which camera was $3,900? Probably, but was it worth $3,900 to you? Let's talk about it. Now, the purpose of this video is not to say that the ZV-E10 is even in the same league as the A7IV. This is a better camera in every measurable statistic except for weight, portability, and of course, price. But the goal of this video is to settle some curiosity I had, and also to show you that even with $1,100, which is not free, of course, that's still some money, but to show you that $1,100 can get you fantastic images, especially when you're doing things like I'm doing, which is, you know, YouTubing, showing your pretty face, just putting a camera on a tripod and trying to get a good image out of it. Little Dougie here, he can do a great job, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna show you some clips and see what you think. So I will show you some A/B comparisons. I will mix the cameras as I go along, and I will shoot in the popular shooting formats, at least the ones I like, S-Log3, HLG3, and then just put it in automatic function for the camera, just the intelligent auto mode, and see how each camera does in that capacity. So first, you may have noticed a bunch of dry skin on my face. That is because I live in Canada and it is the winter now and I do not moisturize properly or at all. And I really should, especially when I'm doing close-ups of my melon here. But here's what I'm gonna say, is no matter which you chose, A or B in any of the clips, I am happy with the images I was getting, except for Intelligent Auto. I don't really like the way that looks coming straight out of camera. That's why I like to do the color grading myself and use the Paul LeemingLUT usually for the HLG3 or the S-Log3. But I like all of the images that I was getting. So of course I am happy with both cameras. That's why I bought them. I like what I get out of them. And now I'll re-show you the clips, but I'll put up the cameras and the settings I used. And of course, maybe you figured it out, but ZV-E10 was all A and the A74 was all B. Yeah, I was too lazy to mix and match them. Now, there is one of the tests that I did that would probably have given it away, so I will show you now, and that is if you open up the G Master to its widest aperture of 1.4. In most of the clips, in the clips outside anyway, I set the Sigma to 1.4 and I set the G Master to f2 to make them roughly equivalent in terms of their background bokeh, you know, the blur. All the clips inside I actually set f2 to both cameras, and so even though the A74 technically had more bokeh, more blur in the background, it wasn't really very noticeable in the studio. Outside, it might be noticeable, and let me show you that clip now. So right there you can tell that the 1.4 on the 24mm G Master on the full frame camera will give you a shallower depth of field than the 1.4 on the APS-C camera. Of course, that is logical, but here's the thing is I never shoot the 24mm wide open at f1.4. It looks ridiculous. As Camera Conspiracies would say, it's too much tone. Like, I will show you a clip of when I was out. I did a little vlog for a video I have coming up, and I did it at 1.4, and you will see this. That's just absurd. Everything behind me looks like creamed corn. You can't see anything. I always stop the G Master down to about f2 when I'm shooting videos when I'm outside. Otherwise, it just looks crazy. But what if I stuck the 16mm f1.4 on the A74? After all, it's a universal E-mount. I might as well try that. This will immediately go into APS-C crop mode, and then I'll be able to compare the two cameras with the same lens. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So with the same lens, the cameras look even closer, and I think common sense would tell you that. I probably didn't need to do that test. So here's the thing, when it comes to YouTube, I believe my ZV-E10 will pretty much do everything I need. The A74 I bought for different reasons. Number one, I wanted a really good photo camera, 33 megapixels, full frame. I can put on, you know, these nice G Master lenses and get the most out of this absolutely fantastic sensor. Also, fantastic dynamic range when it comes to photos and video. So if you're on a beach and it has shady areas and bright skies, this camera is going to do a lot better. The 10-bit that's in here, all that extra color information. If you're trying to do some heavy color grades, let's say you're trying to make a feature film or you're doing some documentary work, this camera is going to do a lot better than this camera in many circumstances. But when it comes to just straight image quality in decent lighting environments, especially when you're doing things like YouTube, you will see that it is hard to distinguish at times this camera with this camera, and I think that that's very exciting. I really like when budget-friendly gear can really give you fantastic results. That's why I talk about the ZV-E10 a lot, or the A7400 as well, and also other cameras, things like the Panasonic G7, things that punch way above their weight. That makes me excited. I also get excited about things, you know, that are the best of the best, in my opinion, but I love a good budget camera that can get me great results. And of course, the added bonus, the two cameras can be used together to mix and match clips, so I can have an A camera and a B camera, or maybe even an A camera and a B camera. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment, ask a question down below. I hope you like this test, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. I need like a Nivea or something, you know, or Irish Spring. No, wait, that one's a soap.